We're one of the few coaches that's also an athletic director. So if you don't mind, I'll do kind of like two parallel interviews. The
Sure.
beginning one, I just have to know about athletic director life. What is going on? Like how how all encompassing is your battle with sports? Are you able to focus on sports yet, or are you still figuring out transportation and just back end logistics? Like, how is that balance as an athletic director going right now?
It changes every day. That's the problem. That's the hard part is, one day this is the regulation and the next day this is the regulation. And so it's like a moving target every day. So that's been the hard part for, I think, all the athletic directors in San Diego County, and then we obviously have to follow our district's protocols. The football part is great, although our numbers are way down, just because of, I think, everything that's going on. It's wonderful to be back out there with the kids and kind of that's like that 2 hour, 3 hour period where, you forget about all the other stuff and then you come right back off the field and there's 40 more emails for you or whatever it is.
The district hasn't given you an intern yet to just follow you around and help handle all of the extra minutia. Just more work, no extra pay, no intern, nothing. Perfect. Okay, blink if you're being held hostage. Um, Other question, kind of athletic directory, is spring. You confident that baseball, softball, track, all of that's going to get a pretty decently full season? Like, what is on the horizon? I know you say it's a moving target, but do you think a month from now things will settle in and you'll get that spring season?
I really do. I think that hopefully the numbers come out really good today. And I do think that the spring sports are going to get their seasons back, which is really that's the most important thing, from my athletic director perspective. Those poor kids lost, so much not playing their sports, not playing those spring sports, and so I think that has to be the priority number one. To try to get those kids back on the field, all those young men and women who lost their sports last year. And so, yeah, I think we're definitely on the upswing, and now we're starting to get some indoor sports back, which is good. We've seen it done in 40 something other states. So I think we're finally kind of on track as to where we need to go and make sure that we do it the safest way possible and make sure that the kids got to be the priority. And sometimes that's lost in this shuffle, but that has to be the priority, that we get these kids back on the courts and the fields and the diamonds, and everywhere that they're playing.
Well, getting them back into action. You have a scrimmage this week, right? It is scrimmage week. It is
Yes.
officially, you're going to get to play some actual football. So let's talk football then. You guys are about like 7, 8, 6, some 10 practices somewhere in that. I don't know everybody's specific schedule, but you're close enough that you probably have a little bit of a feel for the rust is starting to shake off. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing out there on the field.
You know what? We have a great group of kids. Chemistry is awesome. Our numbers are not huge. We were extremely young, but we have some really good senior leadership, and our chemistry is great. So they're really fun to be around. They work hard, and they're getting better every day. I mean, we have 14 sophomores and 5 freshmen on varsity. So and playing in our league and playing against our competition, that's an uphill. That's a challenge. Because we play, arguably, the best schedule, in the county, or one of the best. Because our league is just so, I mean, you look at the top 5, 3 teams are in the top 5 in our league, and everyone's polls. So that's going to be a challenge, but our kids are ready for it. They've seen it. A lot of these kids had came up through the youth program, and so they've been around. They've been on our sidelines and played on our field on Saturday. So there's a lot of really good excitement around Madison. But shoot, I mean, our numbers are way down. We don't even have a freshman team this year, so all our freshmen are playing either JV or varsity. So that's part of the challenge, because some kids just opted not to play. Some seniors opted not to play. Some kids are in other sports. We have a couple kids that are trying to do baseball and football. So it's just, and then some people are obviously still kind of scared, health-wise with the pandemic. So balancing all that is, it's a circus a little bit, but it's going pretty well so far.
I am curious. You mentioned freshmen getting opportunities, but they're almost sophomores at this point. And I feel like the difference between being 14 and 15, or just like 6 months in that age range, can really mature a player. Do you think that you're getting some guys who will get a varsity look this year that would not have otherwise if they were just true freshmen coming in back in August?
Yeah, probably a couple of them. I think most of those kids probably would have been with us either way. The flip side of that is, you have seniors on teams now that are also that much older. So it balances out, but I do think that that's a positive in regards to just, the health and safety of it and making sure kids can take care of themselves. We obviously wouldn't have them on varsity if we didn't think that they could, take care of themselves and hold their own. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So you have Gianni Walsh. He's one of your upperclassmen he's committed to USD. Who are maybe some of the other kids on the team that you want everyone to be looking out for this season?
Yeah, Chris Jackson is a corner for us. He's really developed from his junior year. I think he's a guy, that is going to open some guys' eyes. He's extremely fast and athletic and long. Javi Blomquist is, he's going to be a 3-year guy for us. He starts on our defensive side. Edwin Rodriguez, and then his little brother Jonah's a sophomore, Edwin's a senior. So those are kind of the guys that head up that list. As I'm trying to think across the board. We're, like I said, we're
extreme. I know it's asking you your favorite child, and you love all of your players equally, and they are all great superstar players that could make the game-winning play at any moment. I know that it's a loaded question for coaches sometimes. What are you telling the kids this year? And we'll say thank you very much for all your time. And folks, if you want to go follow more, you can follow them at MadhouseFB on Twitter. All sorts of information Coach will have. You'll have where can people find the schedule for games this season?
Yeah, I mean, that's also been something that's been changing. So that will be, we'll put that on our Twitter on Max Preps.
On the day of, you'll make sure that you get it out there.
Yeah.
What are you telling the kids, though, in terms of the message this season? Because obviously no specific state or section championships, and not everybody measures success in the same way. But what are you looking for in terms of a successful season when you look back on this?
You know what? It's just one. It's getting those seniors that opportunity to play their senior year. That's a big one. And just getting these reps, these extra reps, these valuable reps for our young guys as we transition, into the fall of 21. So I think that just take advantage of the opportunity we have. We use it kind of as a spring camp. In the old days, we used to go to the Fresno State team camp. We were allowed to do that. And so it reminds me a lot of that. It's because it's going to be quick. Before we know it, it's going to be over. And these reps are going to be, they're invaluable for our young guys. So we just need to take advantage of the reps, understand that we're playing great competition every week, and so obviously we're as competitive as they come and we want to come out on top on the scoreboard. But the number one priority is just making sure we get this opportunity to compete, and then and whatever happens.
Coach, we really appreciate you giving us some of your time. Folks, the Madison Warhawks, they are back in all sorts of different fashions. All the teams are back, and it is because of this man right here balancing a million different plates. Coach Jackson, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day.